How's it going, everyone? This is NuttyNu here with the 22 RE engine. Today we are replacing the exhaust manifold gasket, and as you guys can see right here, it's already taken apart, but I want to give you guys a quick rundown on what you need to do. The exhaust manifold, it's held by 8 studs with nuts, so you will need a 14 millimeter to take them out. And this is the exhaust gasket right here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top. It actually faces this way, so it actually sits this way. So the way it's bent out, the bend out is like that. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 studs on the top, 1 on the bottom, one on this right here, and 1 on this right here, and 1 on this right here. The exhaust gasket has another hole right here, but they're not used for anything. So you only have 8 total. You guys can see that one of them is missing because the previous owner used a bolt. So I'm just gonna keep it the way it is. Whenever I have time to go buy a stud, I'll put a new stud in there. So once you remove those, it's really simple. I actually put some PB blaster overnight, and then the nuts came off really easy. So go and take out those 8 bolts, and then underneath your driver's side you have this exhaust bracket, and these are 1/2 inch nuts. You just go ahead and loosen them a little bit, and it basically loosens the pipes that's being held by the this right here. So basically it usually sits right here, and that's what holds it from moving. Don't remove these right here. If you remove this nut, this bolt, and that nut, it's more harder to get to. So just go ahead and remove this pipe clamp, all right? Once you have the pipe clamp removed, the 8 studs removed, you'll be able to just kind of snuggle the exhaust manifold, and it'll be able to come out right there. It's a really, really tight squeeze between the frame, but it's enough room for you to get the manifold exhaust, the manifold gasket. And let's inspect the gasket. So here is the original gasket. I believe this is this is definitely Toyota. I can tell from right away. And this is a Toyota gasket. So I would assume this is the original one that has been on this vehicle 30 years. And I can tell it was leaking because I was washing my engine bay, and I can see air bubbles coming up right here. So this is a true sign that it was leaking. And if you look through that mesh closely, you can actually see through the other side, so that's a clear example that it needs to be replaced. So we're gonna throw that away, and this is the new one. So I always recommend you guys go with Toyota, unless you guys are in a super rush and you just need to go to your auto parts stores and grab something. But always go with Toyota because they will last 30 years. So this is what a Toyota looks like. You guys can see right there, you can't see through the gasket. And it's nice and shiny with the heat shield. And again, these 2 extra bolt holes, don't worry about them. I'm not sure why they put it there, but they are there. So this is it right here. I'll give you guys the part number. This is the part number right there, and this is for all 22 RE engine. So there you go. So we're just gonna go ahead and I'll probably go ahead and wipe down the surface, make sure it's nothing crappy on it, and then we'll go ahead and slide this back in, and then everything is in reverse. I'll go ahead and line it back up, tighten the 8 studs, and go ahead and line up the pipe, the exhaust bolt down there, U-bolt down there, and tighten up, and I'll let you guys know how it performs after it runs. I know that when I drive it, it has a little startle, like as if it's lacking power, like it's a little bit sluggish, like a throttle response was kind of sluggish. So I think this will help fix it. Another thing to keep in mind is that I also do have the air inlet injection delete, so that also makes it much more easier. And by having these block off plates, it's just much more easier to work on. So I highly recommend you guys do the EGR/air injection delete. I have the video on that. I'll link in the video description. This is how the exhaust hooked up to the bracket. Just go ahead and do that, and then 1/2 inch. Alright, so I got everything all nicely bolted up. We're gonna go ahead and do a first start. It's been super cold in Anchorage, Alaska, so this is a fresh cold start, so the engine is gonna be super loud. I did have the block heater plugged in last night, but cold start, here we go. You want to make sure you just look at everything, look smoke coming out, but I think that's from the PB blaster just burning off the headers from last night. Pretty much solid though, so we'll go ahead and go for a test drive and see how the throttle response is. If you guys don't know, the exhaust manifold leaking does cause a lack of throttle response. So if you're having that issue, you might have a leak somewhere on your exhaust manifold, or your headers might be cracked. And that's what happened to my old Toyota pickup. It actually had like a little rice bowl grain on the header, and I had to weld that back up. And after I welded that up and installed a new gasket, it has a much better throttle response, and it wasn't sluggish when you start up from the red light where it stopped. Yeah, so it's smoking a little bit, but again, I can definitely smell it. It's just from the PB blaster, so that's totally normal if you didn't use PB blaster. Sounds pretty solid. We'll go for a test drive. Wow, I'm not faking this, guys. This is real. We're in second gear right now, doing 30 miles an hour. Whoa, much better throttle response, guarantee, guys. I'm gonna see what it looks like starting at a stop and go. The throttle response is much better. If you guys driven the 22RE and you guys, like, if you guys are starting from a stoplight or a red light, and when you go first gear, and it has that, like, it has that lag. You guys know what that lag is. It just feels like it's not getting enough air, or it's not burning the right air. You might have an exhaust gasket leak, and I highly recommend you guys replace it. We're at the red light now, and the throttle response is just so more like connects, like it engages. This feels like your dry line's engaging, but it's the exhaust. It's your exhaust system. You're breathing in air, burning it, and you get to let the air get out. And if the exhaust is not getting out properly, or if it's leaking, it's gonna have issues. So I felt the response right away in second gear, but that was at a rolling start. I'll also let you guys know something a bit too once we get going. Or I'll let you guys know now. The other day I replaced my valve cover, and I saw that it was so dirty, so I went as a marble. Okay, good route. Yeah, great throttle response. It doesn't do that lagging no more. It's so much more enjoyable now. It's so much, because I was getting really annoyed by that lag, because I noticed my green one had that too, until I fixed the green one, which had a leak on the headers, or had a hairline crack on the header. So I was talking about the other day I replaced my valve cover, and there was a lot of carbon buildup. So after I put my new valve cover on, I added some Marvel mystery oil, and it's supposed to clean up the oil. And I noticed my engine is much quiet now. And then right now I noticed it's even much more quiet with the new exhaust manifold gasket. So it's crazy. It's super quiet now. We're at the Cotton Mall here. I'll go ahead and pull over and give you guys a nice shot of the engine running, and you guys can hear it for yourself. But it's much quiet now. It's much quiet now ever since I bought it, because when I bought it, it still had the typical, it was a little bit louder, and so I'm not sure if it's, I know for sure it's quiet now because of the manifold, but I also know that the mystery oil also played a factor too, because I noticed it's definitely a little bit quiet after the mystery oil. So we're gonna pull over here quick and give you guys a quick view of the exhaust, or the engine bay, how loud and how quiet. So here is the 22RE with the new gasket, exhaust gasket. You can still hear the motor kind of tick a little bit, and usually that's from the injector. That little, that's just the injector. And everybody that owns a 22RE knows that. But other than that, there's nothing. It's really a quiet engine. You hear that? That's just the injector, but the engine itself is super quiet. solid engine, guys. And just so you guys know, this engine has 286,000 miles. I bought it when it had like 285,000. I put over 1,000 miles already. Let's get it on the highway. Second gear, 20 miles an hour, 2,000 RPM, hitting the highway. Can I get on, guys? Yes. Second gear, 30 miles an hour, 3,000 RPM. Ready for VTEC? Lucky there's cars in front of me. Okay, we're in third gear, 50 miles an hour, 35 RPM, 55 miles an hour, coming up to 4,060. All right, 55 miles, 3,500 RPM. Fourth gear. I have more torque now. I noticed that. I'm still in fourth gear. We're doing 60 at 3,000 RPM, 2,900 RPM. I'm in fourth gear and I'm already at 65. Fifth gear. So it's cruising really, really well. The low end torque from first, second, third gear, from first gear to second gear, I can definitely feel the torque, and the torque is back now. So I feel like this 22RE engine just got more power just by swapping over that, just by replacing that 30-year-old exhaust manifold. I highly recommend you guys do it. If you guys have never done it, if you guys bought a vehicle and you don't know the history of it, just take a look at the exhaust gasket, and if it looks crummy or old or burnt up, definitely replace it. Get an OEM one, and they're online for like 40, 50 bucks. It's totally worth it, guys. We're off the highway now. But other than that, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. Just want to show you guys a quick how to install it, and a quick before and after. And like I said, I'm not faking it, guys. This is a great improvement. I know I know this problem because, like I said, I had this problem on my other truck, my green truck, and it had that lag, that loud ticking noise, and it was because of the, at first on the green one, I thought it was the exhaust manifold gasket. So I replaced the gasket, and then I decided to inspect it again, like after a few thousand miles, because it still was having that lag. And then I took off the headers, and then that's when I found that hairline crack. And then I'm like, oh, this is definitely the problem. So I went and welded it, and then boom, I got that torque now, that power now. So this is exactly what's going on with this engine. And this engine has all stock exhaust, so it just has the basic stock headers, and then the exhaust is like an aftermarket one, but it's still a really quiet one, nothing fancy. The exhaust actually needs replaced pretty soon, so I'll probably go with the Flowmaster. We'll wait till summer, guys. For right now, we're conserving a little bit more, and we're just gonna enjoy the way it is. But I hope this helps you guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you guys are new, check me out, and follow me on Instagram at NuttyNu_4x4. Fun. We'll get back on the highway and do one more rip for you guys, just so you guys can see it. I feel like I'm in a race car now. I feel like I can be a little confidence and step up to some 3.4 guys and be like, you wanna beep beep beep, let's go. Second gear, 3,000 or 3,500. I usually try to shift before 4,000 RPM.